Rise and shine, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D. She puts the D in drama. Her guests will spill the tea. Tune into D is for drama. If gossip's what you need, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D. D!
Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon D. I'm your host. And today I am joined by Jakey T.
I'm back, everybody.
That's him.
Welcome back to my living room. If you're watching on YouTube, you can already tell that. If you're listening, just know you're in my living room. Take your shoes off, please.
The old stomping grounds. Well, actually, we will be talking about taking our shoes off in this episode because we are talking about social etiquette today.
Very important topic, in my opinion.
And we have a poll that was very...
that was for
you're
this.
You're gonna know what side I land on.
Yeah.
One.
No, I knew exactly where this was going, and we are going to argue about it.
Yes, we will. I knew it. As you're sitting here with your dogs out
in my home. In my home.
All right. Well, what do you feel about me having my?
That's fine because we're in my home.
Okay, but if it's in public at all, it's no.
No.
With socks on.
Unless you are at the beach or a public pool.
What about socks on?
That we discussed this. The first time this topic ever came up when we were in front of a recording, socks kind of make it worse because they're just foot condoms. So you're just like, it's just a sweaty rag that all of your foot juices and the dust has collected
How is it any different than dirty, filthy shoes?
It's because the shoes are the cages that you keep them in there. And okay, first of all, you don't know if your feet smell bad. You don't know if your feet smell bad.
I can smell that.
No, you can't.
How?
You can't, because it's easier to smell other people's BO than it is to smell your own BO. And that applies to your own feet, too.
Wait, you think?
I
can smell when I'm not smelling
Sure,
good.
but that, it's kind of like the same thing with, okay, you know how some dudes wear way too much cologne?
Yes.
And I'm saying that is almost exclusively a male problem, right?
Yeah.
Like women know what to do with perfume.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason why they do that is because they don't have the capacity to gauge their own scent, and it's much easier to smell other people. So like if you can actually distinctly smell your own cologne, everybody else can smell it way too much. And the same goes for your BO. If you can smell it a little bit, boy, do you stink.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah.
So when I can smell myself a little bit, I'm
other
really
people can smell
stinky?
it. Well, I don't know. Like you probably, when you're really stinky, you probably don't smell as much as if I'm really stinky because I produce a lot more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the poll in question was specifically about movie theaters, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're jumping the gun. But...
So I didn't mean to spoil anything there, but
no, we can get into
I
it.
want to keep the focus on that because we've already talked about planes.
Yeah.
And I feel like
we're past that.
I feel like the jury has come back with the verdicts on that one. But for movie theaters in particular, especially with the rise of reclining loungers and all of that. So the problem that I really have with that is you are making it impossible for anybody who has to cross in front of you to not deal with the fact that your feet are out in the open, which is not a pleasant experience. But here's my real issue with that. People who do that 9 times out of 10, their shoes are in the middle of the walkway. And I have seen with my own 2 eyes somebody eat shit tripping over somebody else's shoes that are just in this dark, narrow passageway.
Yeah.
Because why would you expect to have to hop over an additional obstacle that's in the movie theater?
Yeah.
So I can
definitely
give
tuck mine under.
Okay, that gives you a little bit more clearance for me.
Yeah.
But I still just think it's like, y'all, we are in a shared space. Let's all give each other a little bit of respect. Because by the same logic, if it's like, I want to be comfortable, somebody can just rip their shirt off. It's like, I want to be comfortable. I'm in a dark room. I'm not bothering anybody. Look at the movie, you perv. I'm just trying to be me.
I guess that's true. But what about if I'm going with I just came from home, I put on a fresh pair of comfy socks, and I'm wearing slides?
All right. Yeah. In that particular scenario where you've intentionally put on clean socks and are wearing slides, look, we don't have to get on slides. We don't have to get on. I'm not a proponent of slides in general. But if you
don't like sandals at all, right?
No, sandals are. What are we doing? Come on. The only environment that I will ever be okay with sandals on is the beach,
The beach.
resorts.
Yeah.
End of list.
Honestly, I don't really fuck with sandals much.
They hurt.
They hurt. Like, especially as I've gotten older, and you guys all know I have my back problems, my knee problems, etc. They give no support.
Yeah.
I don't really like my dogs being out.
If there's an emergency, forget about it.
Forget
Those
it.
things are gone. You just are ditching them and running.
Yeah. And then you're barefoot.
Yeah. I tried sandals for like exactly 1 month freshman year at Arizona State when I first got there because it's so hot out there.
Yeah.
And I was right around the end of September where I was just like, these hurt. These hurt a lot, and I don't like them. Why did I do this?
Like flip-flop
Yeah.
ones? Yeah. Oh, as a kid, I could never. I think it wasn't until like high school where I like ventured into the thongs.
And I was just about to say, people
Both
who say
metaphorically
people.
and-
Okay, people who say thongs regarding sandals need
Oh,
to be
I
on
hate it.
lists.
I honestly think that we've talked about this
We
on
absolutely
the pod
have.
before.
No, this has actually been multiple
I'm
times.
having deja
This has kind of
vu.
been our olive branch on this subject where it's like, I don't like feet being out. You're fine with it, but we
Yeah,
both
we
agree
don't.
people who call sandals thongs
Thongs.
need to be put into jail.
Exactly. So we always have to go back there.
We gotta touch base on this. Like, we're both here on this. This is where our humanity is shared.
Yes, we need to agree on something.
I also love that, like, we're calling this episode public decorum, and you
Uh-huh.
immediately brought it back to, like, I'm gonna get Jake to tell me it's okay to take my shoes off in a public space. I'm gonna get there.
I'm gonna get there. I need to.
Do you put
I
your feet
must
on the
win
back of
this.
somebody else's chair?
That was on my list of things
Shannon.
to talk about. And you know what? Definitely not if someone's sitting there.
Oh, okay, yeah. If nobody's sitting in it, that's
Yeah,
totally
that's
different.
okay?
Yeah, no, if nobody's sitting in it, I don't care.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's not like you're already kind of owning the fact that a theater is gross. Like, they're not coming through
Yeah.
with anti-disinfectant after every movie, right? They're sweeping up
Right.
the popcorn, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I would hope they disinfect once a month, but no, they're not doing that.
No.
AMC Stubbs is not paying for that bill.
No way.
So that is just kind of like, yeah, I'm in a public space. Other butts have been in this seat. You just kind of have to accept that that's where you are.
Okay,
As long
so
as you're not doing it
okay.
when someone's sitting in the
No,
seat.
no,
in front of
no,
you. Okay.
no,
Because
for
you
sure
did that on
not.
planes.
On their hand rest.
We've discussed.
from behind.
You know,
2 inches.
you're never budging me on this.
Well, I have changed my ways, as I've said.
I'm proud of you. Really proud of you.
Thank you. But I do still take my shoes off, and I'm sorry.
All right, I'll take it.
That's a more divided topic.
You know what? I'm just gonna let you live on that one.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not changing my ways. Socks and slides, baby. Oh, okay. Because the feet on the back of a chair came up recently. Do you know the Summer House drama?
This is ringing a bell.
It's like, remember when I did the PowerPoint of Scandival?
Yes.
So this is the
one of
new
the
Summer
hardest
House.
you've ever made me laugh.
So when we were at Vapor Days, one of the things was a PowerPoint presentation, and I did it on Scandival.
Crushed it.
And so that was Vanderpump Rules. So Summer House is like the East Coast version of it on Bravo of 30. Well, they used to be in their 20s, but now they're like in their 30s and 40s. And 2 of them are, I wouldn't call it an affair, but allegedly affair. They had just gotten a divorce. Anyway, all this drama within the cast.
Okay.
And so after it all got found out, they made their public debut at a Yankees game or something.
Okay.
And the girl, Amanda, was sitting there all slouchy with her feet up on the chair. But no one was in front of her.
Okay.
But so many people in the comments were like, oh my God, she's so childish. That's so disrespectful. And I was like,
Nobody's
oh, wait,
sitting
really? No one's sitting
And at a
there.
baseball stadium,
It's all filthy, isn't it?
it's not just that. It's that is, if there's nobody sitting in there, one, yeah, it's very dirty. There's been tons of people here before you. But it is just if there's nobody there, you can make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
And that people are grasping at straws.
Okay.
It sounds like there's other reasons to be mad at that person.
Yes.
And that might just be the spillover of when you're mad at somebody, especially a public figure that you don't actually know.
Yeah.
Everything they do can be
It's
something that you can
brutal
come at
out
them
there.
for.
Yeah. They're going after her for everything. But I definitely was like, oh shit, I didn't know you couldn't do that when no one was sitting there. But okay. Jake says it's okay.
Yeah, I if I'm at Dodger Stadium and there's nobody in front of me, I don't think I never do 2 because that's just naturally a very unpleasant position for me to sit in. But I'll put a single leg up.
Yeah.
And just like it, you know, kind of helps you not lock up when you have to stand up later. But yeah, if nobody's sitting there, that's people are grasping at straws on that one. And I think that when we were just talking about this before we recorded, when you are mad at somebody for legitimate reasons, I think it's important to keep your energy and your focus on that primary thing that they actually did wrong. Because the more you start, you're splitting your energy by going after them for petty shit like that. Like keep it on the thing that's actually worthy of your disdain.
Well, as we've talked about a lot, is that you lose like credibility once you lose like your upper hand so easily once you start making jabs. Yeah. And then you like out-villain the villain, as we like to say. Well, we've got some results on the movie theater. Feet up on.
I feel like I know where this one's going.
Well, I said shoes off at the movie theater. Yes, I'm trying to be comfy. 32%. Hell no, 55.
There it is.
And then I wouldn't, but it doesn't bother me if others do, 13%.
Cowards. Everybody on that 13%. Pick a side. Pick a side. I wouldn't, but you can. Just like you know what? We need strong voices and strong backbones right now in this country. That's true. I don't need that wishy-washy bullshit. Pick a side so we know where you stand.
And I stand for the sock wearers.
That's all right. You can be wrong, but
well, let's see. Well, actually, we had a little mini story here about it. AITA for taking off my shoes in the cinema. Well, winter has come, and so I am wearing my winter shoes. It was pretty warm in the cinema, so before my feet could start to sweat and stink, I took my shoes off. I wouldn't say my feet stunk, and my wife also didn't notice any smell. But when she saw I am only in my socks, she got angry. After the movie, she explained that she did find it inappropriate to do that in the cinema or in the public in general. So we were arguing for a bit, and then we decided that we will leave the decision to the internet.
Well, that's a mistake. Never do that. They do not have your best interests at heart.
Honey. Well, as you can guess, where do you think the internet went with this one?
I have to imagine that the pitchforks and the torches came out. They probably turned the pitchforks into torches on this one.
Yeah, they were all on your side. Well, actually, I must say there was a lot that were on my side, but they were all downvoted into oblivion. Yeah. So I think it is a very split thing. But said here, the wife didn't smell them.
Yeah, but I'm still like, you're gonna be used to your partner's scent,
and it doesn't bother you as much.
Specifying that it's winter shoes, dude, those dogs were already sweaty. Like I do not trust your review of the status of where your dogs were at on this.
That's true, but to be totally honest, I don't really smell people's feet out in public much. Like,
I mean, I definitely try not to.
But do you?
I have definitely. You know what it is? I don't think it's the feet. I think it's the shoes. I have smelled the smell of the gross shoes.
Out.
Yeah, I pick that, and I have picked that up at theaters before. Yeah, where there's especially if it's a full theater and it's even in the same row. You're catching it. It's there. And so I don't think it's necessarily the feet. Like, God forbid I ever had to smell another human being's feet. But the shoes, those are like, no, those things can stink.
It usually is the shoes that stink more. I mean, I guess socks too, because it rubs off on it.
It's built up over time. It's not just that day.
The socks are only that day.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is mostly, I would say, the shoes that make your feet stink, for sure.
And that's really where the consideration comes in. You keep those things caged up.
But see, that's why the slides and fresh socks.
I'm giving you the slides and fresh socks.
All right.
I don't want to, but because I care about you as a person, and I know that, like, I feel like you're going to keep bringing me back onto the show to think of new scenarios until I just give you one where it's like, fine, you can have your slides off with fresh socks in a movie theater if it gives me that it's half empty.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman would approve of this. If the theater's half empty, we come here for magic.
That's true.
Somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Shoe odor never does.
Okay, how about here? They say NaH. It's dark and no one's going to see your feet until the end. As long as your feet and your shoes are stink-free, go ahead and slip them off. I don't do it personally. Oh, we've got one of those. But that's because my trainers tend to be stinky, as you'd expect a runner's shoes to be.
Brag. Low brag. Just like nobody, well, you know, me as a runner. Nobody asked.
As a runner.
That has nothing to do with this. Immediately discounting
Also,
this testimonial.
Also, did you know I'm in shape?
I don't know if you know this, but I do the worst thing in the world to stay fit.
No, literally.
I can't.
Running.
Good for you. Good for you. You know what?
Not
honestly, sincerely, amazing for you if you have the stamina, the willpower, and the stick-to-itiveness to be a runner. Yeah. The second you start talking to me about being a runner, all I hear is circus music.
Yeah.
Like, all right, yeah, okay, you're doing it for attention.
Hear it. Maybe I'm just jealous because I can't because of my bad knees.
Yeah, I have bad knees, and now my ankle kind of doesn't work anymore, and my body was just never really built for it.
Yeah, so really, we're bitter.
We're bitter. But here's the thing, like, and this is a very drastic comparison to make. You can be dead positive for sure, locked in, no way my feet or shoes smell, right? Mm-hmm. But it's kind of the rule that you have to treat all guns with, right? No matter how positive you are that the gun isn't loaded, you can have just confirmed that the gun isn't loaded. You always have to treat the gun like it's loaded. Yeah. That's rule number one. You have to handle it like that. And I'm saying make that same leap to your shoes, because you always have to assume just for the sake of thinking of other people before yourself, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
What is more, and that's kind of how I always interpret it when I either get a little bit of the whiff of the shoe odor, or like that time I saw somebody trip over somebody else's shoes and it almost started a fight. Is because, yeah, of course you're going to be fucking pissed if you just tripped over somebody's shoes, because why should you be worried about them just being there in the walkway? That is your comfort more important than the comfort of multiple people around you? So that's always kind of question number one.
I guess it is a little choosing your own comfort over others.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just like I come across people all the time who are just like, when I'm in like a theater or something, who just like stink.
Oh, yeah.
Like BO. Yeah. And I'm just like, and yeah, you're right. Like I do get really frustrated by it. And it's it is like offensive to me. I'm just like, oh God. Oh.
I was never neglectful of how I present myself and prepare myself to be out in the world. But right around 21, 22, I started being very mindful. And it wasn't about what are other people going to think of me. It was about showing up to places, to work, to events, communicating just through the way that I've presented myself and prepared myself that I want to be here. And I took time to present my best self to be here. Yeah. And obviously that scale goes up and down. You know, if you're going to the Cheesecake Factory, you don't have to put on airs.
Hey, watch it.
No, I love the Cheesecake Factory, but like, you know, okay, if you're not going to do me the service of providing me a menu that isn't 50 pages long,
oh my God,
I'm probably not going to go to the trouble of like doing all of my prim and proper to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, I get decision fatigue there. I can't do it.
I've kind of just locked into one order there every time.
Which one do you get?
I do the Cuban sandwich with a side order of fries, but if I'm there for brunch, their jambalaya hash.
Ooh.
Holy shit, it's so good. That is my favorite thing on their menu by far.
Oh my God, okay, I need to try that.
Yeah, give that a shot.
The one that I use, I haven't been in a long time, but I always would get their like taco salad with the crispy shell.
Yeah.
I think it was taco, or maybe it was even Asian with the like a wonton shell.
You know what? I actually learned how the Cheesecake Factory came to be, like why it is the way that it is. It's actually kind of fucked up. When the first Cheesecake Factory opened up, they were just doing cheesecakes. Yeah. That was their thing. And then I think they had like a couple of like cafe options, right? But in order to get more customers, they started learning what all the different restaurants around them specialty was. And then they started making their own version of that specialty. So they would just like cut the ankles out from whoever their nearby competition was in any given category. And the menu just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then by the time they franchised, it was just like, this is our thing. We have this giant menu. Whatever you're hungry for, we have it here.
But wait, so then did the people around, why did people start going to Cheesecake Factory? Because it was all there?
I guess it was, I guess it was all there. That part I have no, this is just an anecdote as I was told by our good friend David Tash. Shout out Dave for his many nuggets of wisdom like that. So I don't know how they eventually won the market, but I think maybe the novelty of like, hey, do you want to get some orange chicken and a big giant slice of cheesecake at the same place? Now I know, like in the age of DoorDash, that doesn't sound that insane because you can get anything, anywhere, anytime.
Wait,
which
that sounds amazing.
orange chicken and a cheesecake. That I thought of the weirdest combination of thing on the menu that I could for that. So I'm glad that sounds appealing to you.
Oh, it all just sounds so good. Well, yeah. So everyone went here and TI. Oh, or YTA. Someone here goes YTA, but not gonna lie, I've done this. Oh, so you know.
See, I can appreciate that more than the like, I never would because I'm a runner, but you do you, babe. I am at least with somebody who's like, no, you are, but I've done it too. So whatever.
Yeah.
I can at least like acknowledge that response better than the other one.
Let's see what some of my listeners said. Yeah, people need to keep their shoes on in public, period, especially men.
Okay, all right, sure. I feel like we're catching a stray on that one, but all right. Yes, I agree with you, but like, you could just say everybody.
No, especially men. Well, you did say.
I did. No, I did, but it's just adding that on. When you're saying everyone, but then you say especially, it's like, just say men then. You don't have to say everyone if you're primarily concerned about men doing it.
Yeah. Stanky. And then someone else here goes, I specifically will wear slippers and kick them off, especially if it's a recliner situation. But I also bring a blanket so my dogs aren't just out for the world.
As long as you're tucking the slippers underneath your chair. If you have to do that, fine. That's the best way to do it, I guess.
I do like the blankie thing, too.
Yeah, I just don't like traveling with extra stuff, especially if I'm like, if you're going to overnight someplace, obviously you have to travel with something. But I just like traveling light.
Me too. I agree. All right, so we're not on the same page. Well, we kind of got somewhere together. But let's go on to some more societal things, shall we?
Is this going to be about shoes again?
No, we're moving on. I actually have a little story that happened to me.
Oh boy.
I might have told this before, I forgot. But when I worked at ICM Partners, the talent agency, one of the top 4 talent agencies in the world.
Ice cream management, of course.
Ice cream management. I was in the mailroom, and that's like the lowest position to be in. And there was one of the
grind you, see where the chaff fall off.
Oh my God, it was very traumatic, very fun, but also very traumatic. Character building for sure. And so there was this older woman who was a agent there, one of the most powerful ones, like had all the A-list celebs. We all parked underground, and then there was the doors to get into the basement actually, and then they would take elevators to go up. And I was walking in, and I opened up the door, and then I turn around and I'm not going to say her name.
Good catch.
The woman was like very awkwardly behind me, like lengthwise.
Yeah.
And I was trying to make a split-second decision. Do I hold the door or do I not?
Yeah.
And here's the problem with that, and we can get all into the semantics of holding doors open for people. But the problem with when they are so far away is that I feel awkward making them.
They do
like,
a little hurry up.
Yeah, they do the hurry up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, am I going to make this older woman like really hustle to get here? Because she was quite far away from me.
Yeah.
Or so my decision, and obviously it was the wrong one, was to just go and not hold the door open.
But she's an agent.
And
they love that stupid little
they
bullshit.
love the power move.
I hate to put everybody into a box, but every agent that I've met past a certain point, they will lord anything they can over people lower than the totem pole.
Oh yeah. So as I said, like we were in the basement. I go into the mailroom and I'm like chatting with my coworkers, just chatting it up. And then she comes into the mailroom, which she would never do. Like agents don't do that. Comes in the mailroom and just like berates me.
Oh my God.
In front of everyone. And I was just like, oh. And I was just sitting there like mouth jaw. Like I was trying to explain myself being like, no, like you were just like so far away. I didn't want to make like, but I just like could not get a word in.
No, of course. And especially in that environment, where she holds all of the power in that. That sucks.
She's berating me about that. And then she also goes, and also last week when I was in another agent's office, I was meeting with the agent and she walked in and they were having a conversation about how pretty the flowers, like the bouquet was that was on her desk. Like someone had given the other agent flowers. And they were talking about how pretty they were. And I go, oh my God, yeah, they're so gorgeous or something like that. So she goes, yeah. And last week in, let's call her Janie's office, you spoke about blah, blah, blah. And as far as I'm concerned, children should be seen and not heard.
I despise this person.
Yeah.
Oh my good God. What a horrible vacant existence you have to have if you needed to go out of your way to flex that power and have been holding on to bitterness like that for that long about somebody who you would very likely, I mean, maybe cross paths with once or twice a month.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
And I was like, oh my God. So then she walks away. And of course I'm like, oh my God. And my like mailroom boss is like, all right, like you got to fix this. Like you got to write her a letter. And so I like, by the way, at this time we were getting paid nothing.
I remember all of my friends who were in that same situation where it's not, that's maybe one of the most egregious ones that I've heard, but I've heard a lot of different stories like that.
Oh my God, that's yeah. The stories I've heard, it's worse. Like people getting stuff thrown at their heads. I actually I need to have my friend on to talk about our agency.
That you could do 2 episodes on this.
Do that. But so okay, so we're not making any money. We're working like 12 plus hours a day, and so they were like, okay, like write her a card or whatever. And so at the time, I think that I'm telling you, I had like no money at all. And I had like a thing left over of thank you cards. Oh, and then I cut a thank you card in the top of it that said thank you. And I like cut it really nicely. And I was like, okay, I'll use this. You know, in retrospect, I definitely could have coughed up like, but those thank you cards can be like $5.
It's a racket. It's $5. Where are you getting your thank you cards? Those suckers are like
a stack of them are way more. Yeah. But
I
guess if I
little,
just got like
the
one
little ones.
or something.
Okay. I was thinking like Hallmark, like greeting cards. So that makes sense.
No, I mean they're all expensive.
Papyrus is
and that's what it was. It's like I had a stack of papyrus ones left, and it was like the only one I had left, and I was like, okay, I could cut this off. But I tried to make it look as nice as I could, and I wrote it out. And so then I gave it to her. I didn't hear anything. And then I happened to run into her as I was on my way to the parking lot. And then I was like, hey, hi, Mrs. Blah, blah. Like, by the way, I just wanted to see if you got my card. Again, I'm so sorry. It was like, misunderstanding, or I would never mean to disrespect you like that. And then she goes, oh, yeah, I got your card. And you had like cross outs all in it. Like, and your handwriting was just like, I could barely read it. And it like, and I just go black, or go red. I start, cause I when like in movies, when the like high pitched ringing and you can't hear I couldn't hear anything else she was saying, but she said something like, I remember when like the kiss assing that we had to do and making our way to the top. Like, it's just ridiculous that none of you guys have the respect anymore that you do for your blah, blah, blah. Like, and I swear she like made a comment about like, I swear something about like sleeping your way to the top too, like the things that I had to do or something like that. But like, again, I was barely like, I couldn't even pay attention to what she was saying. I was just like, okay, well, sorry again. And then right after the mailroom, I became a floater, which is like you would be a substitute for the assistants, and then you would like hopefully become an assistant. It was kind of like the middle ground. And I was never allowed to float on her desk because she like specifically asked HR to never allow.
Well, hey, that's great.
And I was like, great.
That's awesome.
Thank God.
Sometimes I hear stuff like this and it just feels like maybe the industry has to fail, like burn itself to the ground in order so it can rise again as something different. Because how the hell did we let that get to that point? Especially like I'm not here to knock anybody's chosen profession. We don't have to skew this into entertainment industry talk. But if there's any corner of the industry that needs to be completely revamped, it's agents and managers.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
They're awful.
Except for yours. As an actor.
Oh yeah. He's great.
He's
great.
We can cut this part.
But anyway, so, and then my dream was always to like like really become like a super successful actor, and then she want to sign me, and then I could be like go into her office and be like, remember when you blah 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 blah.
Big mistake. Huge. I knew where you were going. I can't blame you. That's a good dream to have.
So we're still. I just have to do it before she dies.
Sure,
you know?
which could be any day now.
Any day, God willing.
I've been. Have I told you what my slogan for the year is? What my catchphrase, my theme?
No, tell me.
Stand your ground, princess.
Oh, I like that.
That's because you know me.
Well, that can be used in so many different scenarios.
I have been throughout most of my adult life. I've always tried to be very amicable, very flexible, not be a pushover, but adapt to situations as easily as I can and basically take the path of least resistance, right? And not let people walk all over you or whatever, but just find ways to make any given situation that you're presented in work, because usually that invites you to avoid the least amount of stress. And in this last year, I just kind of realized like, no, I've earned a tremendous amount of respect in my profession, in the social circles that I run in. I've really defined who I am. And especially this, really mainly started with work, because I've been in the industry I'm in for almost a decade now. And I'm pretty well known around my territory. So it's much easier for me now if I'm dealing with a new entity, I'm dealing with a new commodity, when I can tell they're trying to give me the runaround or they're trying to, take advantage of me in one way or another. I'm making a point now to be like, nope, we're going to do it this way.
Yeah.
And because I know I have the standing where they know I have that standing, and it just sets a good tone, and it's still very positive. It's very rarely ever devolves into any kind of real conflict, but it's just a good tone setter, right?
Yeah.
But it's also been very rewarding for me to take that energy to day-to-day life of stand your ground princess, for a long time, especially in my 20s, if somebody was a dick to me in passing, I would just ignore it. And we've talked about this a million times where I never complain about being a large man, but if somebody is a dick to me and I respond in kind, it's very easy for somebody to make me look like the asshole in that situation, because suddenly big scary man's angry, right?
Yeah.
And lately I just haven't been giving a shit about that. And it's just like, I'm not letting you get away with that kind of thing, right?
I was literally just talking about this on my last episode.
Really?
Like as I've gotten older, I just don't put up with stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, am I becoming like, I'm worried that I'm becoming a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to use the word bitch, but
the fact that you're thinking about it says a lot, right? You're not like you reflect on those moments and ask yourself, was I in the wrong about this? That says a ton.
True, yeah.
This is very, very passive and I think pretty funny, but I had to move my car about 2 or 3 days ago, and I was making a right-hand turn out down on this street right here, right? So I did confirm that there was nobody on the curb when I was pulling up to it, right? And then my attention's over to the left because I'm just going right. So I'm not worried about what's happening on the other side of the street.
Yes.
And I'm kind of inching forward because I see where my window is going to be. And then suddenly I hear this piercing, shrill, hey! And I look over to the side and there's this woman, maybe 50 or 60 years old, glaring at me and just yelling at me like I was about to run her over. She was not on the curb when I pulled up to the spot, which means that this woman came up to the curb, saw a moving car, and was like, I want to walk in front of that moving car, and he's not looking at me to stop. And I roll down my back window and just say very flatly, you can go around. Gesturing to the back. And she makes this face and she stomps around the back of my car. And something about the way she yelled at me just hit me. And it's like, you know what? I'm not a young man in this situation. There's maybe 20 years between me and her. She and I are both adults in the same world. Roll down my window, and I'm not berating her. I'm not meeting her on her level. I was just like, I just want you to know, in my entire life, I've never seen a moving car and thought, I should walk in front of that. For the sake of your own safety, I think you should start examining your decision making.
No, you said that?
And I hit her with a fucking boomer as I drove off.
What did she say?
I hit her with she went, get out of here. Get out of here. She just like waved me off. I feel a little bad about the fucking boomer, but it was such boomer behavior. To just be like, oh, a moving car. I deserve to walk in front of it.
And also when a car is like turning right specifically, is if I'm coming on my bike or I'm coming on my walking, I'm looking to see that they're not just looking to their,
Right.
if they're just looking to their left, I'm like, I'm not going to walk in front of it because I can
don't see me.
that they're not looking at me
Right.
right now.
Right.
So I'm going to walk around. Like, you have to also be aware of them. It's not just their responsibility.
Yeah. I felt a little bad about it after, but I realized that I would have felt so much dumber if I had cowtailed or if I had just like, I felt better that I was able to kind of check this person of like, hey, I feel like you might do this all the time and I'm trying to help you not get run over one day. Because if you really think that people who can't see you should just stop for you, it's, I don't know. I think too, like, times are just stressful right now.
Yeah.
And there's just this rise of general conflict. And I always try to be a vibes guy and I always try to be like uplifting and positive and all that. But that's what it comes down to. You got to stand your ground, princess.
Yeah. Stand your ground. Oh,
it's good, right? Take it with you. Now. It's good. You're going to start saying that to yourself a lot now.
I mean, I've been doing it a lot lately.
Good for you.
Proud of myself. Actually, speaking of like a car turning right, the other day I witnessed a car turning right. Well, actually, I saw it as it was happening because I heard the scream and hit a girl on her bike.
Oh, shit.
Woman on her bike. And the motherfucker drove away.
Off. Man, that's on social decorum. That's crime.
Yeah, that's crime.
That's just straight up crime.
And I was on the other side of the street, and luckily no one else. The street is usually busy, and I was able to run across the street and like help her. And like I was like, hey, to the car that was like running away. I wish I like got my phone out.
Yeah, it's that split second. Remember, it's tough. It is tough to like have that.
Remember that.
It's obviously like you hope you never see that again, but it is something to like once something like that happens once, I feel like your brain hardwires to then remember it the next time.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not that same person again, like the girl on the bike.
Yes.
Fancy meeting you
to
here.
Be the other guy though,
sure.
Because I want to get his ass.
Yeah, of course.
Well, because we went to the dry cleaner, we went to the gas station. Like I walked around with her to like get footage of and then a couple pull to the side and said we have a dash cam, and so got it. So we were trying to get that motherfucker.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the door holding. So obviously we know she is the asshole because she was a bitch. But like besides that, what would you say?
This was something that I did forever when I was younger. I would hold doors way too long for people, and I could see them being annoyed by it. Where it's just okay, all right, I'm gonna run. Like I'm gonna hustle for this guy.
Yeah.
Now I just kind of move with a lot more intention at this stage of my life. So I'm always I try to make a point to be aware of everybody that's within like a 20 feet circle around me, of just kind of have like a clock of like these people. So if I know somebody's that far behind me, I just take a guess at like, if they're within 10 feet of me, I'll probably hold it, especially if I know they're keeping the same pace as me.
Yes.
But if they're further than that, it's like, I wouldn't take any offense to it, and I kind of just do that quick math of like, would I? And I mean, I wouldn't be bothered if nobody held the door for me. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like I can open the fucking door myself.
I'm good, right?
But if it is close enough and the person doesn't, I'm a little bit like, all right, that was a little rude.
Sure,
you definitely could have held the door for me. But if it's like I'm far enough away, like I'm like waving them, like you're good, you're good.
I think maybe I really don't mind it, even if I do get the sense that they knew I was there and they are kind of intentionally being rude. That's like a pick your battles thing for me.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, I'm not going to let that bother me.
Oh, no. Like it would be like a split second thought kind of thing where I'm not like harboring on it. But yeah, it is that awkward in between. And, ever since that experience, I definitely like hold it more. But maybe it would be good if like you're holding it to say to the person like, oh, take your time. Like you don't have to like, good waiting here.
But here's the thing though. Then you get into that horrible politeness showdown where somebody's just like, oh no, it's no trouble. And it's, okay, this drives me insane, not to bring it back to cars, but I like when people break in the middle of the street for a pedestrian that's jaywalking, that's not, and I say it every time, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
That's not, just go. Let the pedestrian catch a break in traffic because people behind you, people will rear end you. People coming on the other side
because they don't see it,
what's
and they're
happening.
Not expecting a crosswalk.
And the same thing with cars trying to make left-hand turns and stuff. Like if you have the right of way, go because you're going to cause an accident.
Yes.
That blinds so when people do that for me, I'm animated waving like, nope, just go. Just go.
See, when I'm that actually drives me nuts when I'm a pedestrian and I'm like, I can wait. And they're like, no, go. I'm like, you're causing traffic. You go.
And it keeps, I think that the phrase social etiquette really feels like it always boils down to, are you prioritizing what's immediately important to you or what's going on around you, and having that awareness to know there's a world happening around me, and I need to go literally and figuratively go with the flow in order to be a considerate and socially etiquetable. That's fun to say, but it's not a real word.
It's not a real word, but it is today.
So I think that's really important in terms of just like, as long as you're considering all factors of the people around you, because you could get rear-ended. Like I said, somebody doesn't see what's going on. They whip around. Now that person it's just go.
Just go. You're trying to be polite, like as you were saying, but you're not, like, you're being annoying.
Yeah. You're causing traffic. I hate causing traffic. Nothing makes me like die on the inside more than when I know I'm the source of other people's cars having to slow down.
Yeah, totally. I agree there. So, but do you think I was the asshole?
No.
Okay.
No. I hope that woman is sick. I hope she's doing so bad. I hope her life is in shambles. I guess I can't say I don't wish harm upon her. I'm not like cursing her. I'm not saying I hope my ill intent causes her misfortune. It would just be cool if she is suffering misfortune already.
She's got the flu.
That would
5 times a year. And the other thing, children should be seen and not heard.
That's insane.
Because I literally, all I said in the office was, oh my God, yeah, they're so beautiful.
I didn't run into that as much. I definitely didn't work in the entertainment industry as much as you and some of our friends did. But I got my share of it. And that old guard is obsessed with that idea of ageist rankings. And I'm sorry, dude, but like, just because you're alive longer than I have been, I learned, I think it was around like 25, 27, where I just realized like some people just stop learning at a certain age.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not just going to defer to a 60-year-old as like, you know more than me because you haven't died yet.
No,
for
sure.
I can't.
You haven't died.
Yeah, like I'm not bowing down to you because you've somehow avoided a bus.
Someone turning right.
That's
I don't know how you've survived
how
that.
you've gotten this long. But yeah, like obviously I've met some incredibly wise and experienced and people deserving of respect. But people who are that way and older don't act like that either. They're very quick to help younger people. They're very quick to, if she was legit, what she might have done that would have been cool is find a way to pull you aside one-on-one and just be like, hey, that wasn't in the normal world, in the real world. What you just did is totally fine. It's not a big deal at all. But I want to impart some wisdom on you. In here, somebody can take that and just make it poison.
Being disrespectful. Yeah.
That's what an actual seasoned, proven vet
trying
does.
To teach,
because that
youth.
means they care about what they're doing. They care about the community that they're in, and they want to help raise that next generation. As I get older, my favorite part of sales is teaching other people, teaching the younger guns coming up behind me how to do it, how to avoid stress. Like I live to share my wisdom with people on that. And like my favorite job I ever had, or my favorite element of any individual job that I ever had, was teaching completely inexperienced 18 to 20-year-olds the basics of how to sell. Yeah. That brought me so much joy because it instills confidence, and in like helping somebody kind of not cut a corner. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of get ahead of where they should be by just, and you're always going to need to make the mistakes to really learn it yourself.
Yes.
But kind of just giving them that extra, like we were talking about, the hard wiring to remember to pull out your phone when you see an accident and get somebody's license plate. Just kind of giving them that seed where when they do make that mistake, they'll remember that seed that they were given, and that helps them lock it in harder.
Yeah.
So her doing that just tells me she's probably not as respected as everybody says she is, and she's probably not as secure in her position as everybody said that she was. Or she hit her max and she wasn't going any further and was resentful of that.
Yeah.
But
and just like a bad person.
Yeah.
Simple as that. All right, let's get into another story.
Sure.
AITA for bumping into someone on the sidewalk. I was out walking on the sidewalk earlier. This sidewalk is about 2.5 person wide. Up ahead of me were 2 men. One of the men was looking straight at me the whole time, and the other was looking down at his phone. They both were standing, not walking. As I got closer, I was expecting one of the 2 guys to move and stand behind the other due to how they were essentially blocking most of the sidewalk with where they were standing, but neither did. One side is blocked off with a fence and the other goes out into the road. Not wanting to step into the road, I ended up going straight and my arm did brush up against one of the guys. Well, he got mad and started shouting what the hell my problem was. I turned back to him, threw the question back in his face, and said the 2 of them didn't own the entire sidewalk. I thought it was rude of the men not to move and stand single file on the sidewalk to allow me to pass. But a friend I told this story to after said I should have stepped out into the street because I could tell they weren't budging and they were there first. AITA.
Well, they were there first of all. They were there first.
Yeah,
who
what
was
the fuck does
who was
that
on the
mean?
sidewalk first, Your Honor? I don't know how we prove that one.
That's true.
This is an interesting one because it was maybe 6 or 7 months ago. Jackie and I were walking back from a deli not too far from here that we really like, and there's a private high school around these parts that was actually like a rival of the high school that I went to in the Valley. And it's notorious. It's an all boys school and it's notorious for being like a ton of famous people's kids go there.
Yeah.
Super entitled, bratty boys for the most part, like
yeah.
really just bad attitudes, right? A lot of broccoli haircuts there these days too.
Oh my God. I would have been a sucker for that haircut in high school.
I'm glad that you have that self-awareness. I don't get it, but I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah, I would have loved it.
We definitely had our share of dumb haircuts too, but whatever, not the point.
Sure.
These two young cats coming down the street, and I can already tell they're not going to move, and I'm with Jackie, and it's really more of a situation where it's like, okay, I'm hoping that just the way that they're walking, I'm like, okay, I know what these guys are going to do. They're just taking up as much space as possible to just like, we're 16 and we can do this or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm in a position where my choices are get around Jackie, step into the street so that they can pass, or just basically like I'm hoping that he and I are both going to do the turn thing, which is totally fine. That's like, and if we brush up against each other, that's fine.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And at the last second, I can see this kid bracing his shoulder, and I can tell he's like, I'm gonna shoulder check this unk. And
oh my God.
I don't know what he thought was going to happen.
Literally.
It's just like, I'm gonna shoulder check a fridge.
Yeah.
And I don't even lock in. I just walk with the same momentum I would have anyway. And he stumbles, knocks into his friend, almost falls over. What the hell, man? And I just, without turning around, said, I don't know what you thought was gonna happen, dude. And we just kept going. And
my God.
so it is and I think that is like, very specifically unexamined men live in that headspace where they need the world to see that they exist. They need you to see that they exist, and I don't move, you move.
Yeah.
So no,
as women, we have to deal with this all the time.
insane.
Men will not move over for us.
And that is disgusting to me. I will get up. Hey, I'm sorry my mom raised me right.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Sorry
I'm
about
getting
it.
out of the fucking way for a lady regardless of what's happening. And I don't know if I don't know if that's woke anymore. I don't know if that's too PC for the liberal left.
Yeah, it's
but
so
I'll
soft of you, princess.
I guess I'm just a soy boy because I'll make space for women. I don't know what's right anymore, Shannon.
You're crazy.
But yeah, if it's a and half the time if it's a dude, I'll still try to accommodate to make everybody more comfortable.
Yeah.
But in that particular instance, it's just like, I'm not fucking moving for this ginger snap. Like
this broccoli-headed loser.
he didn't even have a broccoli haircut. I just see a lot of kids from that school. They hang out at the Ralphs near it afterwards because, like, you remember that age
so
where it's just like
classic.
we got to hang out
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah, we hung out at the Rite Aid.
The Rite Aid. Well, Rite Aid has an ice cream bar, does it? Like that you can get. Did y'all's Rite Aid have ice cream? I think. Did y'all have Thrifties out east?
No, but I know what they are.
We had Thrifties here, and Rite Aid took over a bunch of those Thrifties, and Thrifties used to have like pretty solid ice cream bars.
Oh, nice.
So a lot of the Rite Aids would keep them there. But
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
I do kind of, it's funny to think back on all the places that you would just hang out at in high school because you
there's
didn't have
nothing
anywhere
else
else to go. Just like, hey, you guys want to hang out at the Cocos? Like, are we going to eat at the Cocos? No, we're just going to hang out in front of the parking lot.
Yeah. Oh my God, those were the days.
But yeah, you like, it's absurd to me when men are like that. And especially if you are going to be like that and somebody doesn't move for you, you have absolutely, you look like such a little punk to be like, why did you hit me?
Hey, you bumped into me, what the heck?
What's your problem? I was really hoping he was going to say, hey, I'm walking here. Because then I would have had no problems with that.
Here.
I would love it if, as a Los Angelino, I got hit with the, hey, I'm walking here once or twice a year.
Also, the thing is, like, I'm curious if these guys know each other. Like, do you think they must have, right? They're
The two friends? Or the two guys walking?
Well, the two guys were standing.
Oh, they were standing.
Like, so it's like one was on the phone and one was looking up. So it's almost like they were talking, but then they weren't.
If they're standing,
they probably
I think that invites conflict a little bit more. If they're walking and they're both walking and you both see you're on a collision course, you made your choice, right? You're choosing to be in a collision.
Yeah.
If they're standing, yeah, I'd probably would have moved out of the way. I think that you're inviting conflict if you choose to bump into somebody when you're the one in motion, because you can see it's kind of like if a car sees, I missed that part for sure. And that does complicate this one for me. If they're the part that they were just standing and not in motion, because if they were both in motion and everybody saw each other coming at everybody, then yeah, they are being the dick. If you are the one in motion, you are the one making the active choice of like, I am not going to, I'm going to stand my ground, princess, and see what happens. Well, I'm going to walk my ground, princess. You are the one making the active choice to engage in the collision there.
Well, because the other thing too is that like when you're standing on, I do hate when
you're just
standing blocking
one side.
The whole, stand to the fucking side.
One side. I'm with you. Okay, you're swaying me back there.
Right?
Yeah, they shouldn't have been in the road.
No, the sidewalk is like mainly for walking, I feel like.
I really don't want to give this one an ESH, but I'm kind of talking myself into it.
Well, do you want to see what comments have to say? Because it went all over the place.
Okay. Yeah, this one's complicated.
ESH, it's common courtesy to apologize if you bump into someone, whether it was your fault or not. If you saw them coming your direction and not yielding, you could have stopped walking. Any bumps that happened at that point would have been solely his fault. And then she specified.
I mean, you gotta hit him with a my bad. You gotta hit him with a my bad. Oh, sorry. That's mine. That's my favorite. Ooh, sorry.
I guess you do have to do that. I feel like in my I've definitely done that in my past where like I kind of purposely bump into somebody because of a situation like this. Like it's not like I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. But then I'm like, oh, sorry. And then I'm like, but am I not like being true to myself?
I think the oops, sorry is the social etiquette, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I hate the phrase sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Well, because it is kind of like, well, all right, well, learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Learn your lesson that someone's going to bump into you if you're standing on the middle of the
standing in the
sidewalk.
middle of the road. But I think that you can still bump into them and then go, oops, sorry.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, my bad.
It doesn't even have to be that sincere.
Exactly. And just like, it's like any time I bump into people all the time, and half the time I do it, I'm just like, my bad.
Yeah.
And I just keep going, and they don't care.
Yeah.
It's like, and I bump into people all the fucking time.
Yeah,
I take up a lot of space.
Same. I'm very clumsy, and then I'm like, oh shit. And the other thing too is actually this always happens to me. Is people step on my feet, but it's because I have very long legs and long feet that when I'm standing there with like, your leg kind of, what is it, like a side kick out?
Yeah.
Kickstand. It's kind of like kickstand
gotcha.
out. And people, they'll be like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, no, honestly, it's my fault. Like, I just have long limbs that like go into other people's spaces.
Yeah, people bump into me a lot. And my go-to is just like, oh, you're good.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's going to happen, y'all. I'm here. Yeah.
Someone else here goes, YTA, you cannot go through life barging anyone out of the way because of your self-entitlement. Take some time, think long and hard about the direction you're heading and grow.
Is this person a runner?
They have good knees, those motherfuckers. But the top comment was NTA.
I think I gotta go ESH on this one. And it's a soft ESH for OP. Mm-hmm. It's a harder ESH for the standard, because you're standing in the middle of the sidewalk. Get over to one side. They are choosing to escalate the conflict.
Yeah.
But I still got to give the ESH for choosing to make contact and then not adding the right after, because that probably would have diffused the whole thing.
I guess it would have diffused it, but I think her point was to kind of be like, yeah, bitch, like, don't fucking stand there,
man, and
stand your ground, princess.
And I have less of a problem with this. I think I would have more of a. I guess I was just imagining this to be two men having conflict because it sounds like a male conflict. I
think it's a woman because of her saying like it was two men.
It's so if OP's a woman, I don't know. That does change the conflict a little bit.
Because it's probably one of those things where it's like, this fucking happens all the time with goddamn men. They won't move out of the way for women.
The dude shouldn't have come at a woman like that in the first place either. That's totally unnecessary.
Yeah. Just let it go.
If it was a dude, I can understand how that happened, even though I wouldn't have acted like either of these guys did, but I can understand how the conflict happened.
Yeah, same. I guess if it's a woman, we'll go.
We'll go and see.
But if it's
a guy, which is especially men. I'm catching myself in my own complaint here, but
okay, love it. All right, well, I think that's pretty good.
We solved that one.
We solved that. Well, we're gonna record another episode after this.
Fantastic.
So you'll see Jakey T next week as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please rate, review, subscribe, and you can watch our beautiful faces on the tube.
Get your shoes before you leave. Don't leave your shoes in my house.
All right, love you guys. And remember, you can't spell drama without D.